Da. What's up, folks? It's me, Kim Desmond, here with a new episode of TNE, the Nirvana Experience. All right, it's just me today. Calvin, he was busy, he was tired of work and stuff. So now I'm just gonna answer a bunch of questions. I got a lot of questions that people ask me all the time. Like I got like 4, 8, 12. It's a lot of questions, and I get to a certain amount of questions each week. But I rarely get to answer the question that people be asking me. We get to a couple of them that people ask me, but we always go with what folks say about James and the Calvin question. So today, I'm just going to answer a bunch of stuff that people be asking me. So let's get started. The first question is come from somebody named Quest for Knowledge. And this person asked me, who inspired you the most, both in life and in content creation? So I remember being a teenager and wanted to be a rapper. I used to write songs all the time and, just wanted to just be the next 50 Cent. But the reality of the situation is I never did none of the shit that 50 Cent did. I never was in the streets. I never did, criminal activities. And when I did try to do it, it never worked out well for me. Like when I tried selling weed, I hit the block for one night and instantly got robbed that first night. And I didn't even tell my mama or nobody. Only certain people know that about me. And, and I had to, come up with the money and pay the dude back. People who know me personally know who paid for that. But I never was the type of person to do street shit because it didn't work out. So I went through a whole bunch of different phases in my life where I tried to be a rapper. I tried to be a rock star. I learned how to play guitar. Me and Carl, he was playing it before me. But I ended up, getting inspiration from him playing it, and I wanted to do it too. So I ended up teaching myself using Rocksmith. And as time went on, I noticed that, content creation was getting bigger and bigger. My cousin used to always tell me all the time, she used to be like, "Bray, you need to get on Twitch and play the game on Twitch and all that type of stuff." And I'm like, man, I don't want to do that shit. But eventually I end up, doing it and start making content. Fast forward to 2018. I talked to Carly about, starting a podcast. And I was like, I just want to talk about the stuff that we talk about with each other and let other people hear our conversation. That was my first inkling to get into content creation. But for whatever reason, the time wasn't right. We just never took off. So I started watching the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz. And them two friends, and I saw they dynamic on the camera, like on the video, and that inspired me to do my podcast even more. And I just wanted to be me and my friends. And when I got when I started TNE with me and James, I knew James was married and had kids and everything, but I didn't know I was going to end up being by myself. Because, he'll come on once a month. And then that once a month changed to like every other month after the pay-per-view and all that type of stuff. Then it got to the point where he wasn't on it all. So I just started having other people come on the TNE just to, have organic conversations. And the dynamic of having your best friend or somebody you comfortable with sitting down talking about stuff that's going on, it just hit different. So yeah, they're like the Brilliant Idiots. They the ones who inspired me to do what I was doing. But me and Carlis, I asked, cause he did a couple episodes, but I had came to him and asked him to be a co-host. And when he agreed to record TNN, I was like, yeah, shit, let's get this shit. And that time period that me and him recorded episodes together there for that season, that's when it really started taking off. Like TNE started taking off. And people started liking me and Carl, the conversation that me and Carl had on TNE. That's how we talk outside of the podcast. So when he came on, he was doing Lyrical Nonsensical, the Winnie Her Jr. Award, like all that type of shit is what he came up with, brought something different and unique to TNA, and it was just fun. So like all that came from the inspiration of Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz. That's why I started doing my podcast. All right. The next question comes from somebody named Pixie the Pixie. All right, this person say, what do you think about Apple's new AI integration in iOS? Is it a game changer or is it just hype? Well, for people who've been listening to me on TNE, they already know how I feel about AI. Me and Calvin had plenty of a number of conversations about AI all the time. And what Calvin said was true. When it come down to AI, people say AI is this intelligent, smart thing that's going on. But at the end of the day, somebody have to program AI, so it only knows what a man put in it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it even tells you when you use a certain AI, like AI is still learning. It can give you wrong answers. So for somebody to completely to depend on AI is kind of weird. Not saying that AI is bad. I use AI all the time to help me with the editing process of TNE and everything. So AI ain't bad, but Apple AI ain't no different from the other AI. And you only get to experience the new Apple AI is if you have the newest iOS device, which the Apple what it is, the iPhone 16 and the latest iPads and shit. So most people don't even get to use the AI. So of course, like the question was like, is it a game changer or is it just hype? It's just hype. It ain't nothing different from Apple AI than ChatGPT, OpenAI. At the end of the day, all of this shit's still the same. You know what I'm saying? All of it's still the same. All right. Let's go to the next question. Somebody named Chokeslam John Cena. This person asked, is WWE, I like this question. This next person asks, is WWE better now under Triple H creative decision compared to the Vince McMahon era? Let me tell you something. Me and Jay talk about this all the time. WWE right now is in a bad situation. And the main reason I say that, because for one, it used to be a time period where I couldn't miss SmackDown or Raw. Bro, I haven't watched SmackDown or Raw in so long, I literally just look at highlights. They're making bad booking decisions. Like, bro, John Cena turning heel was the most garbage thing ever. And I believe Vince McMahon knew that shit was going to be like that. That's why he never had John Cena turn heel. Like right now, John Cena is doing some good work now. His promos backfire. Bruh, one thing about John Cena, on the microphone, he can go toe-to-toe with the best of them. He damn near undefeated, to be honest. Because he know how to cut promo like a motherfucker. But when he was a heel, his promos it sounded forced. He was coming out with the title on backwards and shit. I was like, bruh, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. It ain't hitting right. Like it ain't hitting the Rock. Then he did this shit with the Rock for no reason, just for a Rock to just to up and disappear, and they don't have no significance to the story. I'm like, fool, what the fuck is going on? Now he back a face, doing a promo with Logan Paul, nailing it. Cody Rhodes back to WWE champion. Why? Because he was already boring as WWE champion at first. That's why I was telling, man, Jane just had this conversation a while ago. I was like, I told this nigga, I was like, you was one of the main people who wanted to get the title off Roman because you wanted Cody to finish the story. This nigga finished the story, and now look at it. That man was a boring WWE champion the first time, and he a boring WWE champion now. Everybody talking about he didn't see the vision. I'm like, bro, this shit made me so mad. I was like, bro, when Roman was WWE champion, bro, he was the top motherfucker in WWE. He was the reason why WWE was like thriving. Bro, can't nobody tell me the first and second half of the Bloodline storyline won pure fucking cinema, bro. Can't nobody tell me that. It was just pure cinema. Now the World Heavyweight the Women's World Heavyweight Championship is vacant, so they're just a title just in there. The Women's World Champion, the Women's WWE Champion, Tiffany Stratton. I really don't be seeing her like that. Rhea Ripley can do whatever she want to do. She be in all the promos, like bro. She be having backstage segments. She be in title matches. Why? When there's other women back there, they can get in those spots, bro. R-Truth had a whole persona change, and they did not capitalize on that shit. Bruh, R-Truth was so over. All he had to do was just show up and the crowd would lose their fucking mind. But they did not capitalize on it. And then when John Cena turned back face, all of a sudden, now we got silly R-Truth back. I'm like, bruh, Truth was right there. He was right there. So, and I don't see no big stars being made in Triple H ever. People can say what they want to say about Vince McMahon, but Vince made stars. Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Triple H, Jericho. Like, it's so many stars that came from WWE, from Vince McMahon tutelage. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. Like all these folks came from the Vince McMahon area. So right now, like the new stuff that Triple H doing, I guess, but compared to like it ain't no comparison between Triple H and Vince. So that's why I'm at with that. All right, somebody named Batman beats the Penguin. Batman beats the Penguin. How do you feel about all these celebrity AI deepfakes being used in ads? See, people asking stuff about AI and shit, bruh. Like I said, like with the last question, I don't really care about AI. It's cool, but it's dangerous. It's a tool that can be used to trick people. A lot of celebrities already stepped out and said they're not going to really deal with AI because it's like infringing on their rights and all that type of shit. So like anybody that you like, Robert Downey Jr. already said he don't like this shit. Like he already suing anybody that use his likeness for anything. So I'm kind of like that with him. I don't too much care for that shit because I don't like AI. I don't like AI when it's used in a way that people using it to like trick people and shit. Like, when I write my books, I use AI to check certain grammar mistakes. But I never upload my full manuscript because I be thinking that like when you upload documents and stuff like that to the AI, it stay there because the AI have to have a memory, so it's like saved in the cloud or whatever. So anybody who own that AI, that own like for instance ChatGPT, OpenAI owns that. So anytime, let's say I write my book and it blow up, they can go inside. If I upload my manuscript, they can go inside and look at all the stuff and all the time, see what I changed. So I'm like, no, I just use certain things to check grammar and shit. But I don't too much care for the AI shit. All right, Fortnite Cybernova asks, do you think foldable phones are here to stay, or is it just a fad like 3D TV? Well, from what I see, the foldable phones came back and they making a huge impact. A lot of people who was committed to Apple, that was in the Apple ecosystem, they leaving Apple to go over to Android to get the Samsung Fold, the Samsung Galaxy Flip, some stuff like that. Like it's two different ones. It's the one that can fold like a book, and it's the flip phone. And people are leaving Apple to go to get those phones because they say Apple is boring, is stale, and to a certain degree, extent, I have to agree. So for the past 10 to 15 years, I'm gonna say 10. For the past 10 years, from 2015 to now, the iPhone has mainly been the same, with upgrades here and there. The main upgrade that be changing is the chip, the A1 chip, and the A chip and the camera. It don't be no innovation in the phone itself. That's one thing I can say about Samsung. Like Samsung phone, they innovate. They tried different shit. Like I don't understand people like if you don't have an iPhone, you broke. I don't understand it, but I understand why folks say that because for so long people portray Apple to be this top brand to have. Like if you don't have Apple products, you broke, which is true to a certain extent because Apple charge you for literally everything. At this point, some of the stuff that Apple charge you for don't even be worth the price. You only paying for it because it's Apple. You know what I'm saying? You're only paying for it because it's Apple. And with that being said, the innovation that Samsung be having with the phone compared to Apple, man, look, I ain't had no Android phone in over 10 years. And I'll be thinking about like, man, I don't want no damn Android. But at the same time, I be seeing how fresh them phones is. I be like, man, shit, I still want one. But the thing is, I'm so caught up in the Apple ecosystem that it's just hard for me to switch over to the Android. So these foldable phones ain't no fad, bro. You gotta keep in mind, if Huawei, like the people over there in China, if their stuff was allowed over here in America, they'll have Apple and Samsung beat because the technology that they got with phone is above everything. So, and they be having phones that look like TV that literally fold in three sections and shit. So it all depends on. At the end of the day, it all depends on your personal preference. But a lot of people are starting to switch from Apple to Samsung strictly because of the folding phones and shit. All right. This person named Chili is the best TLC asked me, do you ever get nervous before recording or streaming? Or does it come natural now? Well, now it's natural. But when I first started TNE 2 years ago, anybody who listens to this, like if y'all go back and listen to that very first episode, well, the very first couple episodes, you can tell that I was like new to it. You can tell I was nervous. Now I get in front of this microphone. It is what it is. I just be talking and shit. But back then, man, I was nervous as hell. I was scared as hell because I kept having the thought in my head of people listening to it and not liking it and all that type of shit. So I had to get to the point where I be like, you know what? Whoever like it, like it. Whoever listen to it, listen to it. I can't dictate what I want to do about how other people perceive what I'm doing. I mean, that's all part of making art. You make content and you put it out for the consumer to consume it. Now, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, you don't. They don't. You can't beat yourself up over it. So now, after having this experience of recording and, doing it for so long, I'm comfortable in front of the camera now. That's just like when I started streaming, I was self-conscious about being on the camera. But now, after doing it for so long, I'm comfortable doing it. So it's no issue. It's really like second nature to me now. Like, I don't have no problem getting in front of the camera or this microphone and talking about anything, because it like I said, it's just like second nature to me now. All right, somebody named TV Junkie. What they say? Oh, TLV Junkie said they asked me, do you think physical media like DVDs and Blu-rays are making a comeback, or is streaming too dominant? Physical media is where it's at. If you can buy the Blu-ray or the video game or anything, the physical copy, do that. Because with this streaming shit, this how it works. Let's just say you watching something on Netflix, a good TV show. I'm gonna use That 70s Show for example. Let's say you on Netflix and you watching That 70s Show and you want to binge watch it and it got all the episodes, all the seasons there. Cool. That licensing deal can expire before you finish watching the show. So you'll get on Netflix and Netflix will tell you this is leaving on this certain day. And then that certain day come, you still get like 3 seasons to watch and you can't watch it on Netflix no more. Versus if you had the DVD or the Blu-ray, you can watch it anytime you want. Now, people nowadays, it's really, I'm going to tell you how the game tricky. Watching movies on streams is a good thing because it's on demand. You don't have to go out and all that type of stuff. But you never own it. Ain't nothing wrong with streaming, but you never own no media. That's how they get you. Same thing with these video games. Right now, I own a game called Marvel Avengers. The game came out in 2021. I bought it on Steam. Now, I own the game. I can always re-download and play it. But if I didn't own that game, and for some reason the physical copies of those games just disappeared, whoever don't own that game digital, or whoever don't own the game digitally, or don't have no physical copies, can never buy that game ever again. They can only look at gameplay on YouTube. It's even so bad now, you can buy a game off like the PlayStation Network or Steam or the Xbox. And if your internet go out, like, it can be a complete single player game. No online on that. Like, you don't have no multiplayer on that. It's just a single player game. If your internet for whatever reason go out and your system can't contact the server, you won't be able to play that game because the license is locked behind the internet, the server. So you won't even be able to play the game. So you basically bought a game that you don't own, that you can't play. But if you had the digital, if you had the actual physical media, you're ready to play it. So as far as me saying streaming dominant, of course it's going to be dominant because that's what everything is. The new episodes of King of the Hill came out on Hulu. It didn't even come out on a network. Network TV is dying. So, of course, like, all the good TV shows that's coming out, that's winning these Emmys and stuff like that, is coming out on streaming services. The Last of Us came out on HBO Max. King of the Hill came out on Hulu. Invincible is on Amazon Prime. So, like, it's better to have physical media, the DVDs and the Blu-rays and the actual games. But streaming is just too dominant right now. It ain't no getting away. Ain't no getting away from that. All right, let's see. Somebody named PlayStation 2 Retro Vibe. If this person asked me, if you weren't doing content, what career you see yourself doing right now? To be honest, those type of questions always get me because I always saw myself being in some type of entertainment. Like I said earlier in this episode, I used to always practice like rapping and making songs and shit. I remember I used to walk home from school or walk anywhere when I used to walk everywhere. I walk home from school or be walking anywhere in the neighborhood or whatever, and I'd be talking to myself. Like I act like I'm getting interviewed. For instance, I ask myself a question in my head and I answer it like I'm in an interview. And I was doing that to prepare myself for when I actually did have interviews and people actually did talk to me about what I'm doing and the success of what I'm doing or whatever tribulation I might be going through. I used to do that all the time. I did it when I was in the shower. I did it all the time. So I always saw myself being in some type of media or entertainment. When I started getting fascinated with radio, I ended up becoming a huge fan of Howard Stern. And people who know, they know who Howard Stern is. I became a huge fan of Howard Stern. And I used to go back and watch all his videos. And I was like, man, if I can be like Howard Stern, I'd be straight. But then Charlamagne came on the scene. And he's the modern day Howard Stern. He's not as controversial as Howard Stern was when he was in his heyday, but Charlamagne is basically Howard Stern today. So I was like, instead of me being like Howard Stern, I could be my own person. I thought about becoming a wrestler because I love wrestling so much. I thought about becoming a wrestler. I thought about becoming a rock star because in reality, being a rock star, you don't even have to know how to sing for real. You just got to know how to make good songs. So I don't know how to sing that good, but I thought I can get away with being a rock star, but that didn't work out. I never saw myself actually like having a full career doing a 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? I always picture myself being greater than it, like being better than that, having some type of like audience that I'm doing something for, making media and content for. I always saw that. I always saw myself being in the entertainment field. But that was a good question. I like that question. I like that question. Okay. Somebody named XP Grinder asked me, what is your most anticipated game for the rest of the year? I'll tell you something. Game is so ass, it ain't none that I'm anticipating. Ain't none coming out. I used to be looking forward to like the WWE games. Those come out in March, and then when they get released, they be ass. Bruh, the last game that I was anticipated for coming out, what was it? I think it was like a Tomb Raider game or something. Played it, really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I'm not really anticipating no game for this year. Next year is Grand Theft Auto 6 for sure. But this year, it ain't even none coming out for the rest of this year, to be honest. None that's worthy of being excited for, because I don't play the what's it called, the NBA 2K games. I don't play the Madden game. It's really, like I said, it's really none that's coming out. But if Grand Theft Auto 6 was still coming out in November this year, it'll be Grand Theft Auto 6 for sure. Cause they even got the Ghost of Tsushima sequel, Ghost of Yote, coming out in October. I'm not even looking forward to that. I'm not, man, bro. Little Nightmares 3 come out this year. I'm not looking forward to that. Even a new Battlefield, what is called Battlefield 6 come out. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, it ain't nothing I'm looking for. If I have to be looking for, like, if I was anticipating for one game that was coming out this year, just like a little anticipation for, it would be the new Ninja Gaiden 4. That's it. Man, but man, I ain't shit out. I ain't look, man. Gaming is ass right now. For real. Then I don't even play on console. I play on PC. And a lot of games that be coming out on PC don't even be optimized right. You be playing these games, you be like, bro, what the fuck is going on? They be having to come out with updates just to have the game optimized when they use a computer to make the game. That's the part I don't understand. How you use a computer to make a game, but when it be released for the computer to play, it be crashing. So I be like, it don't be no point in being anticipated for sure. I ain't anticipating for nothing. Okay. Somebody named, what they say? Somebody named Victoria Lemon 12 asks, do you think The Rock's latest return is helping or hurting the current roster spotlight? It didn't do neither. It didn't help nobody or it didn't hurt nobody. Because for one, when The Rock came back doing this stuff with Cody and Roman and all that type of shit, he only had one match. It didn't last long. I mean, if anything, look, we already knew that Roman was going to be in the main event. We already knew that. People wanted The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I was one of those. Rock made a decision not to be in, he was in the main event, but he won the main event. It was Cody and Roman for 2 years straight. So it like him coming back really didn't help. It was a nice little nostalgia thing that was going on, but the Rock coming back really didn't help nothing. If anything, it hurt some shit a little bit because, like I said earlier, with the John Cena heel turn, he did all that shit and came out with the final boss and did all that shit, but for what? It didn't lead to nothing. And then John Cena did the heel turn. People think he sold his soul to The Rock, and Rock disappeared and ain't showed back up in WWE since. So I'm like, bro, what was the point of that? And I think he did show up again, but it didn't have nothing to do with John Cena and why he did what he did. Like, look, Rock came there for no reason. It didn't help or it didn't hurt. That shit was just stupid. That shit was just stupid. All right, what's the real Black Ranger? the real Black Ranger Tony asked, which game do you think deserved Game of the Year last year? And was the winner legit? Look, last year, Astrobot won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. And it absolutely deserved Game of the Year. Because that game, see, what people don't understand when it comes down to games, first of all, the game that was nominated for Game of the Year last year was it was Astrobot. It was the Black Myth Wukong game. That's like a Dark Souls game. It was Elden Ring DLC, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor. First of all, if Astrobot didn't win, I was going to automatically want Final Fantasy VII to win anyway. But Astrobot, PlayStation 5 exclusive, reminds me of a game that used to come out back in the day on PlayStation. It reminds me of a Ratchet & Clank, a Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot. Like all the stuff you can do in Astrobot, like it's a real fun platforming game. I completely understand why I won Game of the Year. And then on top of that, a lot of games that came out last year was ass. Like, just go back to what I was saying. Gaming is like ass now. That's why when Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, it's going to take over the way it is. Because one, people have been waiting for a new Grand Theft Auto game for years, like over a decade. Two, that game got so much popularity. Like it's so anticipated that they didn't even they gave us a release date. Usually when games give you a release date, they be like pre-order now. They ain't even let folks even give you a chance to pre-order the game. And I think that's smart because what if you try to pre-order the game physical copies and they don't have enough to ship out? Now you can download, you can pre-order digital copies all day and download it, but that'll overload the servers. There'll be too many people trying to download the game at one time, and it won't it'll be issues. But they'll figure this shit out. But Game of the Year last year, Astrobot completely 100% deserved. Completely 100% deserved. All right. What this say? All right. A woman. I think this is a woman. It's Emily Foster 2.8. Yeah, Emily Foster 2.8 asked me, what has been your favorite episode of TNE so far and why? By the way, I'm a big fan of the Nevada Experience. I've been listening for a whole year now, and I just like the whole dynamic with you on call. Too bad he's not on TNE no more. But Calvin is a nice replacement. Okay, Emily, let's start first with the replacement situation. Calvin didn't replace Carl. Carly decided to leave TNE on his own, and he pursuing something else. He's still doing something else. Like, it ain't nothing but love with me and that dude. So, that's first of all. And second, I'm glad that you're a fan of the show. I appreciate you for listening. Thirdly, what's my favorite episode of TNE so far? I'm gonna be honest. I really don't go back and listen to my episodes, so it's a lot of episodes I recorded. I forget what I talked about on there, but I always have one favorite episode. That's my very first one. The very first episode is called Awkward in the Beginning, and the reason why the first episode of TNE is my favorite because that's the one that set everything in motion. That's the episode where I was finally deciding, like, you know what? I don't have the best equipment. I don't know what I'm doing. But what else I got to lose? I just took a step out on faith and just did that shit. I just recorded it. And once I recorded it, I found a way to edit it and I just uploaded it. It might not be in the best quality. It might not sound the best. I might not even talk about the best subjects on there. I might not even had the best structure. But that was the first episode that led up to me recording this one. To y'all, that episode I recorded, I didn't have no fans. I didn't have nobody listening. I didn't have nothing. I just stepped out and just recorded it and hoped that it reached to somebody. Now I have people who listen to me. I have people that listen to Jay. I have people that listen to Carl. I have people that listen to Calvin. I have people that listen to us now. I actually have a voice now. And now I'm answering your question, Emily. I'm answering your question. But that wouldn't be possible if I didn't take that first step and make that first episode. That's why that episode is so special to me, because it's literally the beginning. That's why I named it that. It's literally the beginning. So out of all my episodes of TNE, I can't even tell you what I even talked about on that episode. But what I do know is, out of all the episodes of TNE, that's my favorite one. Because that's literally the beginning of everything. That's how I end up getting here 2 years later. And I can't even believe it's been 2 years since I even been starting recording TNE. But it's been 2 years. And it was because of that episode that started everything. Next question. Apple Juice Tammy. This person said, all right, this person asked, do you prefer the current product or the Attitude Era? Which era had the better storytelling? All right. When it comes down to WWE in particular, you got 5 eras, I think. You got the Golden Era, the New Power Generation, the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, and the PG Era. Right now, we are in the modern, the reality era. That's what we in now. So 6 out of those 6 generations. I wasn't around for the Golden Era. That's with Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, and who else? Ric Flair and Steamboat. All those dudes. You got the New Power Generation. That's when Bret Hart come in. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, when he was part of the Midnight Rockers, and when he became solo. Kevin Nash came through. Psycho Sid, like that's when all these folks came in through the New Power Generation. And then you got the Attitude Era, the most popular time period in WWE history, with Austin, with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, D-Generation X, Kane, Undertaker, New Age Outlaws, Rikishi, Too Cool, who else? Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Triple H. Like, that's when even Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, like all these dudes came in during the Attitude Era. Who else I'm forgetting? Chris Jericho. All these dudes came in the Attitude Era. WWE been the most popular era. When people talking about WWE now, they talk about stuff. It's on a handful of people that talk about stuff from when Hogan was wrestling. On a handful that I know personally. On an everyday basis, when somebody talk about wrestling, the first thing they say, Steve Austin. I don't watch wrestling no more. I used to watch when Stone Cold was wrestling. When The Rock was on there, the Attitude Era. Attitude Era had a crossover appeal. As far as the stories, sometimes the story could get a little wacky in Attitude Era. It could. But at the same time, some of those stories, like the most popular storyline in WWE history, well, one of them is Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. That's one of the defining storylines in WWE history. Then you move on forward. Then you got the time period where Stephanie and Triple H kicked Vince out of WWE, and it was called the McMahon Hemsley era. And they was running WWE and all that type of stuff in the Attitude Era. Fast forward some more. Austin leave, he come back, and then Ric Flair is all of a sudden co-owner of the WWE. Him and Vince McMahon had the first WWE draft, and like the brand split came, and then the Ruthless Aggression era came in. That's when John Cena and Batista and all the folk came in. Bro, the Ruthless Aggression era. As much as the Attitude Era is beloved, the Ruthless Aggression era is where it's at. Because that's when you got a lot of people hitting their stride and hitting their prime. Like, when the Ruthless Aggression era came, Austin was gone because of neck injuries. The Rock left because Hollywood was calling. So people like John Cena and Edge and Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, Kane and Triple H and Shawn Michaels, like all these folks had to step up. Even though they was already, like Hunter and Shawn Michaels was already big names, John Cena wasn't at the time. He became a big name. Bro, I remember WWE was so real to me during that time period. I remember watching SmackDown. JBL had the WWE title for a whole year. He was holding that hoe for a whole year, bro. And could nobody beat that man. Bro, JBL be getting his ass beat the whole match, be bloody and everything, and still win, bro. He'll hit that clothesline from here and still win, be bloody and everything, and still win. And then come on SmackDown the next week and be like, I'm a wrestling god. I'm like, bro, I hate this man, but in hindsight, he was so much good of a wrestler that he actually did the big one. Then you got over there on Raw. Triple H was doing the Reign of Terror at that time. It was kind of hard for people to elevate him and become champion over there because Triple H was holding the World Heavyweight title and backstage politicking like a motherfucker back then. But me being a fan of Triple H, I love that shit because to me, the best time period on Raw in the Ruthless Aggression era was when Triple H had Ric Flair by his side. Just before Evolution came into the picture. It was just Ric Flair and Triple H. Triple H come out there and wrestle, and all of a sudden he'll be losing. Ric Flair get on the ropes and do some bullshit, and the referee be distracted with Ric Flair, and Triple H and do some shit and win. I'm like, oh, that man is so fucking cold. I love this shit, bro. I love this shit. Then when Evolution got together, Triple H was World Heavyweight champion. Batista and Ric Flair were tag team champions, and Randy Orton was Intercontinental title champion. They had all the titles, bro. I was like, this is the best shit ever. But they're just me just being a fan of Triple H and shit. But in hindsight, that was some bullshit. But they're just me being a fan of Triple H. Edge and John Cena story, they rivalry was some of the best shit ever. And then you got that was some of the best shit ever. Like, there was a bunch of storylines during the Ruthless Aggression that just hit different, bro. And a lot of people that's grown now, they didn't grow up with the Attitude Era. They grew up with, if they watch wrestling, they grew up with John Cena as their favorite wrestler. They grew up with liking Bobby Lashley and shit over there on SmackDown, liking Finley and shit. So Ruthless Aggression had the best, storytelling compared to all the other ones, even though the Attitude Era is more popular. Okay. Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. Spider-Man versus Green Goblin asks, do you feel single player games are dying out with all the live service stuff? Of course it is. Of course it is. That go back to what I was talking about earlier. You buy a game that's completely single player. If you can't connect to the internet, you can't play that fucking game. Then on top of that, you got all the live service bullshit with it, where they want you to have money, like microtransactions, just to get ahead in the game. It's a such thing as pay to win in most games. I don't like live service games. Bro, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a prime example of that. It was a live service game that was completely horrible. All those folks had to do was just make another game like Arkham, and it just had to be Suicide Squad and the Justice League. But they had all that live service shit up in there. They had all that microtransaction shit. They had all that bullshit. Microtransactions are only cool when you buy cosmetic shit. They don't enhance gameplay or do no other shit. But live service in general, that shit just terrible. That is a terrible game model for most games. And I hate that shit. I really hate this shit. Because they be like, all right, since it's a live serving game, we can continue to update the game and over the course of time. For people who listening, I'm going to explain what a live serving game is. We talking about video game. A live serving game is a video game that's designed to be supported for long periods of time with new content and updates. And sometimes they'll come out with something that's like a one-time experience, like Fortnite, like for instance. The Travis Scott concert. If you want on Fortnite to experience that and watch it in real time, you can't never experience it again. Unless, Fortnite and Epic make a deal with Travis Scott and have him in the game again. But that was a one-time thing. You can't get on Fortnite right now and be like, I want to see that Travis Scott that I saw online. I want to experience myself. You won't be able to do it. Because it was only for the live service. It was only for that one time period in the live service shit. So that's why I don't like live service games. Of course, single player games are gonna be dying if they keep that shit up. Because not only is it stupid, it's predatory. And so I really don't too much care for that. Somebody named what did I say? I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I forgot all about that damn show. But I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer asks, did you hear about the latest Marvel delays? Our superhero movies is finally slowing down. When it comes down to the movies and shit, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't watch that shit. The last movie I've been to see is the Superman movie. That's the only reason I watched it because it's Superman and it had Mr. Terrific in there. I'm not a real big Marvel dude. I never was into them superhero movies, so I really don't know. But what I do know is I remember back in the day when them Marvel movies came out, it was a big deal. I remember when Black Panther came out, the first one, not the second one. When that first Black Panther movie came out, bro, black people showed up everywhere for that movie. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. And from what I'm told, Marvel ain't been the same since the end of since Avengers Endgame. A lot of movies that came out and TV shows that came out after Endgame just been like hit and miss. And for 10 years it wasn't like that. Every Marvel movie came out, it was a hit. Iron Man, Captain America, what else? The Hulk, not the Hulk, but Avengers. That's what I meant. The Avengers. Like that shit was hits like back to back. So ain't everything tied up into one storyline. Like you had to watch certain movies to get the movie, like Thor and all that type of shit. So I really, like I said, I really don't know. But from my understanding, at the end of them Marvel, what's in the Endgame, them superhero movies ain't been what it is anyway. So it is what it is. Mike, what they say? True Michael Johnson 21 asks, who do you think the true face of WWE is right now? Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes? Roman Reigns. Anybody that know me know that I acknowledge the Tribal Chief. Because, bro, Cody Rhodes don't got nowhere near the drawing power as Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was WWE, he was WWE champion for 2 years and Universal champion for 2 years. They're basically saying that he was World Heavyweight Champion for 2 years and WWE Champion for 2 years. In total, this nigga had the world titles for 4 years straight. And even though people was like, they want to get the belt off Roman, he was still a box office attraction. He beat all of the biggest names in wrestling. He did all this shit. Rock. He beat, not The Rock, he beat Brock Lesnar, John Cena. He beat Edge. Bro, he told Edge and Daniel Bryan what he's going to do to them at WrestleMania. He was like, I'm going to smash you, and I'm going to stack you, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Bro, this nigga, he put Edge on top of Daniel Bryan and pitting both of them. And came on SmackDown, he was like, didn't I tell you what I was going to do? I was like, oh my fucking goodness. This man told me what he was going to do, and he did it. Bro, even now, Cody Rhodes is WWE champion, and Roman Reigns not. But even right now, he is more popular than Cody Rhodes. Wasn't nobody in WWE was hotter than Roman Reigns doing the Bloodline storyline. Nobody, especially during that time period when Sami Zayn was with the Bloodline. Bruh, it wasn't nothing hotter than wrestling. Bruh, the Bloodline storyline was the hottest thing in wrestling for at least 2.5, 3 years, bruh. Roman Reigns is the face of WWE. They just like point blank period. Because John Cena ain't the face of WWE no more. This literally is his last year. Now, if it was like 5 years ago, it would have been John Cena all day. Bro, no. It's Roman Reigns now. And it's damn sure not Cody Rhodes. Even though Cody Rhodes WWE champion, he be everywhere doing the promo and shit. It's not Cody. It's Roman. It's Roman like a motherfucker. All right. What they say? See, these words kind of small and you know I'm blind. All right. This person named I Be Chillin'. This person asks, what's your go-to comfort game or movie when you stressed out? I don't know. I don't have a go-to comfort game. Because I play the same thing every day, like most of the time, like Tekken, and I used to play Dead or Alive religiously, and I used to play WWE religiously, but a lot of games I play now give me stress. Like Fortnite stressing me out, Tekken stressing me out. So I really don't play games to release stress. But as far as movies, it will always be The Lion King, the first one that came out in 1994. The Lion King 1994 is either that or I just get on YouTube and watch Maximilian do videos. That always calm me down. Because he made YouTube videos based off his stream. And he streamed mainly about fighting games. And that's my favorite genre in games. So I always watch him all the time. Like I rarely ever watch TV unless I'm watching like wrestling or PLE or something. But every day when Maximilian streamed, I watched it until because he streamed overnight. So I watch little videos on YouTube or whatever. But Maximilian is the one who I watch throughout the day. So that'll be my comfort. Shit I go to when I'm stressed out. All right. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Because it's hard for me to read these names for some reason. Okay. Somebody named White Girl Amy. White Girl Amy asks, do you think subscription services like Game Pass are actually good for developers or only players? Game Pass, a lot of developers don't put their games on Game Pass because they miss out on potential sales. Now, I don't know what type of deal they make with Microsoft, but then to have a game on Xbox Game Pass from day one, they must have to get a payout some way, but I don't know how much that'd be. And I guess it varies between like what company and what game it is. But most developers don't put their games on Game Pass. It's literally been developers saying they're not going to put their game on Game Pass because they want people to buy the game. So if you got Game Pass, you pay $10 a month, $20 a month, you get a full $80 game for free, basically. You just play it, you test it out. If you don't like it, uninstall it. Versus if you bought a game that's $79.99 plus tax, and you don't like it, you pretty much just stuck with it unless they have like refund option. And then even with that, you have to be careful because if you play for more than 2 hours, you're not eligible for a refund. So they really losing money doing the Game Pass thing. So I think Game Pass is only beneficial for players most time. And it ain't even for the players on PlayStation. Even though PlayStation had the PlayStation Plus, it's the same thing. PlayStation Plus Essentials and Premium, same thing as Game Pass. It's just I don't see how this is good business. I just don't. But it do come in handy. Like for instance, I was just talking about. Look, I'm saying this, but somebody asked me earlier today. Let me go to the names. I forgot who it was. Asked me what I think the most anticipated game of the year. What's my most anticipated game of the year? And I said if I had any type of anticipation for a game, it would be Ninja Gaiden 4. But guess what? Instead of me paying $79.99 plus tax for Ninja Gaiden 4 just to try it out, I could pay $10, $20 for the Game Pass and play it practically for free. Because it's going to be available day one on Game Pass. So which one you'd rather do? You'd rather pay the $20 or the $10 to try it out and be like, you know what? I like this and play it for like a month or whatever versus buying it for the full price and only playing it for a month. I'd rather do the Game Pass option in a day. But Team Ninja, they missing out on money. So I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. What does this? Let me make this screen bigger because it's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to see. Okay, there we go. Somebody named, I know who this is. This is a person on TikTok that I follow. Somebody named Jonesy Willis. I can never pronounce this shit. Jonesy Willis. This person says, what's your take on TikTok stars crossing over into movies and music? Is it good for entertainment or is it just cash grab? Man, bro, I don't have no opinion on that because it's just like how it is with the YouTube star. I'm going to use Liza Koshy, for example. Liza Koshy was one of my favorite YouTubers back in the day. For one, she's real pretty. And two, she was funny as hell. So that what made me keep watching her. She was like, $1? I like, bro, why she saying this shit? But she have millions of people followers on subscribers on YouTube. Then she came up with her second YouTube channel, Liza Koshy 2. And she had 2 YouTube channels. I'm subscribed to them still to this day. With millions of followers, millions of subscribers to both channels. And now them channels just practically abandoned. Because now she had her own TV show on Hulu called Freakish. And then she ended up having, she was a host on one of these award shows. She's just doing bigger and better things. And there's a lot of people from YouTube that crossed over into becoming celebrities doing TV and stuff like that. So now TikTok is the new YouTube, basically, just for people with shorter attention span. And now they getting to do other stuff than what they want, like what they started out doing, called progression. So even with me, like TNE starting on, like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years. Hopefully, I get to a point where I'm able to branch off and do other things. But unlike them, I'm not gonna stop doing my podcast. But I'm gonna still be looking out for other opportunities. So like if somebody presented me an opportunity to like host something, I do it. Because what's wrong with branching out and doing every other thing? You can't do the same shit all the time. And so as far as is it good for entertainment, I don't know. That's subjective because what I might like in entertainment, you might not like. So I like Invincible, the show that's on Amazon Prime. Somebody will watch that. First of all, it's animated. A lot of people don't like watching animated nothing, no matter if it's for children, grown people. They just don't like no cartoon, none whatsoever. So me saying that's some good entertainment, they'll look at this shit like, man, this kid ass shit, I ain't finna watch no damn Invincible, this cartoon ass shit. I'm like, oh, well, damn. So it's all perspective. You know what I'm saying? So it look like these are the questions. Let me see. Yep, these like all the questions. I know there was, how long I've been recording? For an hour. After I edit, it's gonna be less than an hour. But these look like all the questions. Like these questions that I answered today are really a lot of questions that I've been meaning to answer, but I never really got a chance to go back and get into them. And I'm glad I did this episode and I was able to record and answer these questions for people who've been, sending in questions for me to hear my opinions on this shit. With that being said, this episode I'm recording now, we on the 10th. I do 10 episodes per season. I know it's crazy or whatever, but that's just how I keep up with all my episodes. So I do 10 episodes per season. This is currently season 10. Believe it or not, this is episode 10, season 10. And I just want to say, everybody, I say it at the end of every episode, but I'm gonna say it again now. Everybody who come through and listen to TNE, it be making me so happy because I remember starting off and I ain't have nothing but 2 listeners. I have 2 listeners, and then it gets to the point where I'm like, damn, I only got 2 listeners. And sometimes it can be discouraging. I'm like, man, I don't know who's gonna be listening to this. After a while, that 2 turned to 5, then that 5 turned to 15, then that 15 turned to 50. Then I remember one day going over my analytics, I was talking to Jay, I was like, bruh, I got niggas out there in Singapore listening to TNE. Like, who out there in Singapore? I don't know nobody in that country, but somebody took their time out their day to listen to TNE. And it be making me so grateful because I'm like, bruh, y'all could be listening to anybody else, but y'all taking y'all time out and listen to me. And and that's why I be so appreciative. Like right now, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. So right now, I'm looking at all the places where TNE is listened to it, right? In the last 24 hours in Miami, I have had 1,619 downloads in the last 24 hours. And I remember it was a point where I only had 2 downloads in a week. So like I'm just so grateful and so fortunate to have the people who listen to TNE. It's people all over there in Germany and Singapore and Bangladesh and Canada, people in the United States, literally everywhere that I never would have thought that people would listen to me is listening to TNE. And I always say at the end of every episode, I be appreciating it, but I really did be appreciating it. Like right now, I'm looking at the download. It's a place called Lucknow, India. I never heard of that place, and I got downloads there. Somebody all the way in India is listening to me from Memphis, Tennessee. So I'm like, bruh, somebody from Spain. I'm gonna got people in Spain. I got downloads in Hong Kong and Kingston, Jamaica. Like, bruh, it just look. I got all these in the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Lativa, I don't even know where that's at. Like, it's places I don't even know where that's at. And people are listening to TNE. They listen to me, they listen to Calvin, they listen to Carl, they listen to Jane, they listen to all of us who be on TNE. So I'm like, bruh, this shit is crazy. Look at it. Somebody in Portugal is listening to TNE. Malaysia, Taiwan, Province of China. I got people in Taiwan listening to TNE. So that's why I always say I appreciate people who listen to TNE. Over there in Morocco, in Casablanca, Morocco, in Italy, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Austria, Belgium, Barbados, Cape Verde, Brazil, Argentina. I'm literally naming off places. Like I'm looking at the places where I got downloads at. So I'm naming places right now. Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, like Honduras, Costa Rica, Ecuador. Like I never thought people would be hearing my voice all the way in those different countries. And as always, like I say, I want to first and foremost, I want to thank the Most High God because like He the reason why this is getting spread out so people can hear what we talking about, hear what I'm talking about, hear what Calvin talking about, hear what all of us talking about when we on TNE. And I always say I appreciate people who listen to me because, like I said, I always like dreamed of this, and it ain't gonna do nothing but get bigger. I almost got 100 episodes, and to be honest, during the Nirvana experience, it's the only thing I ever did consistently in my whole life. Like I had like jobs that I got fired from, and like I had hobbies that I gave up on, and all types of shit. But recording TNE is the only thing that I have done consistently for this long in my whole entire life. May 26, 2023 is when I recorded the first episode. It's August 31st now, as of me recording this video. What's today's date? Oh no, it's August 30th. It's Saturday, August 30th. And it's over 2 years. It's been 2 years and 3 months now. And I'm still going on doing it. So I understand when people be like, if you do something you love, it won't feel like work. I understand that now. Because this don't feel like work to me. I'm actually doing something that I enjoy doing, that I love doing, that I think I'm good at. So I just keep doing it. And like I always say, I appreciate everybody who come through and listen to TNE because, man, most of y'all been there with me from the beginning when I have like little to no listeners, when it was only my friends and family. I appreciate all y'all. I sometimes I be lost for words, so I don't be knowing what to say. But like I say, I appreciate everybody for coming through and kicking it with me. Me and Cal are gonna record the episode in the upcoming days. We're gonna answer some questions and stuff with some people that want to talk about some stuff that happened with Carl and all time. So we're gonna get into that. But as for now, as always, I appreciate everybody that listen to TNE, the new listeners and the recurring listeners. I appreciate everybody. And until then, see you next time. Peace.